Alexis. I'm narrator 1.
I'm the servant.
I'm the queen. I'm the king.
I'm Princess June. I'm Princess April.
I'm Princess May.
Narrator 2.
I'm the midwife.
I'm Tom Thumb and Handsome Prince. Man.
Alright.
Man. Get your thoughts. Fine. You turning the light up?
Brittany, watch out.
Look at that time. You're doing head triplets. 3.
3?
No.
Yes. Boys?
Boys?
No,
That's the
girls.
service, said the midwife, and so they were. The queen named them April, May, and June.
As the years passed, the 3 little princesses grew into beautiful young women. One day the king said,
It's time for you to think of marrying.
and wedding gowns, and wedding feasts, and wedding balls.
Not to mention princes.
Yes, princes. And there is the problem, you see. There is a slight shortage of princesses. You see.
A shortage of princes?
We have 3 princesses.
How dreadful, said the servants.
Most unfortunate.
I'm afraid so. There were some very fine princes. It appears they've all been taken. One was swept up by a cleaning girl.
A cleaning girl? Impossible.
Of all the nerve.
A cleaning girl named Cinder something or other. Very nice and hard worker. They said she only had rags to wear except for a pair of glass slippers. But she took the prince anyway. The king continued. Another prince found in some enchanted castle. They are rather rare these days, but you do still find them one every now and again. Seems everyone has been asleep for years, including the king's daughter, a real beauty. Not even knowing the girl, the prince fell in love with all, woke her with a kiss.
A kiss? A kiss? Gasped the 3 princesses. My word.
Of course.
You know magic spells, the king said. You can't think of anything else to break them. A kiss will usually do the trick. Anyway, that prince was married before anyone could finish yawning. Another prince fell hopelessly in love with a dead girl.
With a dead girl? Shouted the 3 princesses. How frightful.
Good heavens.
She wasn't really dead, the king said. Another magic spell. You see, her stepmother was a real witch. She couldn't stand the poor girl and put a curse on her. Everyone thought she was dead. She was so beautiful, they kept her in a glass coffin. Good thing, too. The prince wandered and fell in love. A kiss did the trick again. One more prince taken. Lovely for them, but you see, it creates a problem for us.
It's a problem, all right. And what a problem it is.
Most perplexing.
The queen agreed. Princess April stood up.
I will go and find my prince myself.
Find a prince yourself.
Unheard of.
Quite improper.
I'm sure I can. If a cleaning girl can, how hard could it be?
Well, said the king, I've heard a prince or 2 might be in the northern countries. You could try there, I suppose.
I will leave at once,
said April, and so she did.
What of you, May? Asked the king. Will you seek out your prince, too?
I hope your mother won't mind terribly, but I'd rather not find a prince at all.
Not find a prince?
Unthinkable.
Have you lost your mind? Not at all. I've never much liked being a princess. I prefer an ordinary sort of person and work in the gardens.
I suppose 2 princesses are enough for one kingdom.
Indeed.
Of course. And there's a nice young man who works in the gardens.
Said Princess May.
I believe he would marry me if he said he could.
And so they did. Well then, what of you, June?
Oh, I think I'll just put an ad in the paper.
An ad in the paper?
Cried the king, the queen, and all the servants at once.
I'm quite happy being a princess,
Said Princess June.
but I don't want the hassle of searching for a prince. Therefore, I shall put an ad in the Castle Times. The ad will read, Wanted, a prince to marry, preferably handsome and rich. Must be wise and kind. Apply in person to Princess June.
Well, it's worth a try.
Perhaps,
I'm sure it's not wise.
Sooner or later, a nice prince will come to my ad.
said Princess June.
Until then, I'm quite content to wait.
Very well, said the king. Write your ad.
Yes, and she did so. Not before long, Princess April returned to the castle with a charming prince.
Well then, April, tell us how you found this fellow.
It wasn't easy, Father.
Princess April answered.
I traveled north until I reached the castle. The
queen and her son lived in it, but they wouldn't even talk about marriage. Spend the night and we'll talk in the morning. The queen said, the room was nice enough, but oh, the bed. I needed a ladder to climb into it. And it was ever so lumpy. I couldn't sleep a bit. I figured that since I was awake, and the prince didn't seem very eager to marry me, I might as well move on. So, I did. Of course, it was terribly dark out. I couldn't see a thing. I ran right into the side of another castle, when I ran into a horrid beast.
A beast? A horrid beast? Shocking.
Extraordinary.
It was dreadful. You can be sure I didn't stick around there to find a prince there. I ran away as quickly as I could in the dark. Suddenly, I splashed right into a smelly pond. A poor frog talked to me, or at least he tried. He had a raspy voice, hard to understand. I was tired, frightened, and soaked. I didn't have time to listen to a croaky old frog.
That may have been a good time to try a kiss.
Ah, yes indeed.
Quite so.
A kiss? I never thought of kissing a frog.
Not to worry, my dear. You've a prince now. Do tell us how you got him.
Oh yes, in the morning I wandered farther north. The snow was very deep. I was freezing, not to mention tired and hungry. I had almost decided to go home and let my prince find me. Then I saw him. He was so tall and so handsome and so marvelous that I didn't know he was made of ice.
Of ice? He was made of ice?
Remarkable.
Chilling.
Indeed.
Oh, agreed Princess April, and her prince nodded and shivered.
He was enchanted, of course, by a wicked stepmother. You know how it is.
And you thawed him out?
I kissed the chick, just as he said. As soon as he stopped dripping, we hurried here to be married.
Everything is almost ready for your wedding. While you were away, we worked day and night to prepare your wedding feast, ball and gowns.
Gowns?
May has arranged to marry a young man who works in the gardens.
The king said.
In the gardens? May is marrying a gardener?
It's true.
And why not?
Of course he isn't just a gardener. He's a prince as well. Wicked stepfather, curses and all that. Kissed the trick once more. We can have a triple wedding as soon as suitable prince answers June's ad. Ad? June has placed an ad in the paper?
Most upsetting.
Quite distressing.
We've already been through this.
Said the king, just then the bell rang. The servant shouted,
A prince!
Lower the drawbridge.
Princess June opened the door. She saw no one. Just as she turned to go back, she heard a small, very small laugh.
Hello? The princess said, looking all around her.
Ha! Tricked you, didn't I?
A very small man popped out of the crack between the paving stones. He was riding a mouse.
Oh!
Cried Princess June, backing away.
Tom Thumb at your service.
The little man said.
I'm here about the ad. May I speak to Princess June, please?
Why, I'm Princess June, but I'm afraid you're not quite what I was hoping for. You're much too small, and well, I'm afraid of mice. I'm sorry, but you just won't do.
Oh, well, it was worth a try. I guess I'll be off. Good day.
Tom Thumb hopped into his saddle and spurred the mouse away.
Well,
The king asked when she came inside. Princess June shook her head.
It was a very odd little man, only as big as your thumb. His horse was a mouse. I doubt he was really a prince. Oh, there's the bell again. Perhaps this will be my prince.
The drawbridge was lowered again. Princess June opened the door and slammed it shut.
well,
So?
A kiss wouldn't help?
Absolutely not. The ad must have gotten into the Jungle Times by mistake. It was a lion.
a lion?
Beastly.
I knew that ad was a mistake.
Perhaps you're right.
Said Princess June, peeking out the door.
But the lion's gone, and look, someone else is coming.
A man, I hope.
A tall and handsome man.
Please. Princess June opened the door. The man was indeed tall and handsome, but he was not a prince. I understand you are looking for a new gardener.
Actually, I'm looking for a prince to marry me.
The man was not a prince, but he was charming, kind, and wise.
Well, now you're a very beautiful princess. I would be delighted to marry you. Although I'm not a prince now, I would be if I married a princess. Marry me, and you shall have your prince.
From behind the door, the king, queen, servant, and the princess said,
Take him!
And so she did.
The next day, the castle was full of flowers and wedding gifts. The three princes were full of happiness. The king and queen were full of pride, and the servants were full of relief. It was a marvelous wedding. Three princes were stunning in their wedding gowns of silk lace and beads and jewels. Three princes were dashing in their wedding suits. The feast was delicious. No one went hungry in all the land of day. The dance could not have been better, even though someone dropped a glass slipper. It was a glorious day. As the newlyweds kissed, everyone was certain, and the three princes and their prince lived happily ever after, and so they did.
Thank you.